Thanks, Morris, and thank you. Good evening and welcome everybody to this Zoom meeting tonight. I think we see from the number of participants at the very start how much this has been awaited and how much it's welcome. And it gives me particular pleasure to welcome everybody. At the start, can I give a big welcome to so many members, we're looking through the screen just now, so many members of the Miller Kenton youth era who have joined with us tonight. And all of you, it's lovely to see you back in Kenton as well. And welcome, we hope you have a great evening. And, you know, Kenton is still hopefully a very affectionate place in your hearts as well. Any community goes over its lifetime in peaks and troughs. And I think it's fair to say that one of the peaks that will live in the memory of the Kenton Jewish community were the glory years, if I can call them that, when we were blessed with both Rabbi Znaimer and Rabbi Miller. Together as a team, it was something completely new for United Synagogue, something completely new for everybody. And between the two of you, you managed to take Kenton to a new plateau. It had always been a showpiece community for United Synagogue, and you really took it to an amazing level. Rabbi Miller, it's absolutely wonderful to have you with us tonight. I guess one of the questions perhaps that people don't know is how you found your way to Kenton in the first place. And I think it's worth just letting people know. We had an honorary officers meeting in Ebrington Road at the house of Rabbi Znaimer. And at the end, he came up with the idea. He said, look, it'd be good if we have a youth leader, that we have a rabbi to come to look after the youth. It was too much for one person. And he said that Rabbi Roll, who had been the rabbi at St. Petersburg Place, had recommended somebody who was currently in Jerusalem by the name of Shmuel Miller. And Rabbi Znaimer was saying, do you think there's any chance that we could consider bringing Shmuel Miller to Kenton as the youth rabbi? It just so happened, we hadn't discussed the finances, we hadn't discussed anything at all, but it just so happened that my very dear friends, Michelle and Richard Feldman, were in Jerusalem at that time. They were in Israel. And I got on the phone straight away to Richard. And bear in mind that Richard was working with the youth through Maccabi and through the Kenton Club. And I said, Richard, we've been recommended to a Rabbi Miller in Jerusalem. And could you possibly go along and interview them, have a chat with them? And Richard and Michelle made contact with Rabbi Miller, with Devorah. And I think probably the following morning, some crack of dawn, Richard was on the phone and he said to me, don't care what you do, break the bank, do what you want. You've got to get these people to Kenton Shul. I think it's fair to say, Rabbi Miller, that the rest is history. We really were so fortunate to have you for those glory years in Kenton. Your legacy, without any doubt, still lives on. You're still spoken about regularly with much affection. And when I say you, it's a collective you with Devorah as well. And you spent some very happy years, some exuberant years in Kenton. You then moved on to JET, the Jewish Experience for Teens, where you divided your time between Kenton and JET. And eventually that became the forerunner, I think, of Tribe, which has then been going for so many years with the youth. Bear in mind, Kenton was at the forefront. We set it up, and none of it would have been possible without the input of Rabbi Miller. So with no further ado, Rabbi Miller, the floor, the screen, whatever you want is all yours. Thank you.
Have to unmute yourself.
You need to unmute yourself.
Unmute, got it. All right.
I want you to know, it's not often we tell a rabbi to unmute.
I must tell you, this is quite overwhelming. This is just being able to look at you and to hear your voices, and to realize it's been 26 years, and so much has happened to each of us since, and also as a community. But first, thank you, Roy. Thank you for reaching out to me. I really do appreciate it, and give me this opportunity. I feel like I'm being transported out of my home, out of California, and literally going to where all you are, which is not all in Kenton, some in Israel, some have moved on. But let me just start firstly with a thank you, and then I want to start with a little Torah thought, and then maybe kind of share with you my journey. And if there's any questions either along the way or at the end, I would love to share it. And I would so much love to have one-on-one time with each of you, just to be able to reconnect, because so much happens over the years. So the truth is that it was really a team effort to bring us out to Kenton, and it was being in Kollel for 4 years in an intense religious community, and very stark, as they say, and to have a rabbi who did not live in my community, who was in Kenton. The Znaimers, I believe, were in Kenton for 1 year. Now, if you can find me another community on the planet where the rabbi is there for 1 year and he's so okay with himself that he can bring another nutty American rabbi to join him, you really need to be very, very okay with yourself to do that. And in my experience, I've not seen that happen. And it's Rabbi Znaimer's vision and the board at the time that really took on something which is unprecedented. And also my appreciation to Emmanuel College, because it was that 8th grade that came to Israel that year, and I was their guest speaker, and everything worked out. But I'm grateful for the space and the faith that I was given to really experiment and explore a new culture for me. And I still draw on those experiences in my work, when I speak. And it was such an incredible opportunity to be able to give and grow. And each of you played such an incredible role yourselves directly, entrusting your children with us. And Baruch Hashem, I've kept in touch with many of these students that or the teenagers then, and now they've built their own families over the years, and a tremendous amount of nachas to be able to have been a little link in everyone's chain of their journey. So that's very much amazing with that. I just want to share a Torah thought, because we're all together here, and I think it's an opportunity just to share something. And then I'll kind of share my journey a little bit. So we have this incredible kind of timeless scenario in the Torah where, believe it or not, there's someone who wants to curse the Jewish people. Like, go figure, it's like that hasn't happened like every other day. And we have a scenario, and the Torah is telling us something very timeless. You have Balak, who realizes that a physical battle against the Jewish people is not going to do it. So let's do it spiritually. And he commissions Bilam, this powerful sorcerer, this person who represents prophecy in the Gentile world. And he commissions him over and over again to try to curse the Jewish people. And over again, he fails. And in his false humility, he says, no, what do you expect? God spoke to me last night. I can't curse the Jewish people. But there's one point here which is very, very salient, which I would love to share with you. And that is Bilam starts to go to different places. And at one point he does the following. You find the verse here. He says, go over the Tirenu Misham. Go over from a little place. Efes katseo tire. You're only going to see a part of the Jewish people. V'chula lo tire. You won't be able to see the entire Jewish people, right? V'kavno li misham. And please curse them on my behalf from there. It's a very interesting idea. You would think if you want to curse, get everyone in one nice wide angle lens and just blast them. But that didn't work. So the next strategy is just go to a little corner. Just look at part of the Jewish people and try to nail them that way. What's this idea? I think there's two concepts here which actually relate. One is a people and one is us individually, which is so timeless. And many of us may have experienced this. And that is, it's very hard to discredit an entire person or an entire people. It's very hard to say that the Jewish people have been a waste of space and a waste of time. They're no good to anything because we have empirical evidence. We have a disproportionate amount of Nobel Prizes. Our contribution to the world and to technology and to bioethics and everything is completely like, you can't argue it. So you can't throw the entire Jewish people out, but you still want to get rid of them. So do you know what you do? You just look at part of them. Find something which you can criticize, find something imperfect and may even be true. Find something you can kind of use as a foundation to kind of stir up suspicion and stir up issues. And that's what has been happening to the Jewish people for millennia. But I think more importantly, at least for me personally, and I'm speaking to myself, and that is that we also have the challenge of sometimes we just look at one point of a person, and from that, we make an entire global judgment of an individual. Oh, because they do that, oh, then they must be the whole thing. You have it now with whether you make a choice to wear a mask in America, or whether you vaccinate, where you send your kids to school, what kind of work you do, who you associate with. And our first temptation is to take that one little detail and to extrapolate an entire person's life. And that couldn't be further from what is the accurate truth about an individual. I think we learned that from Bilam. And I think we've seen how much, certainly over the past year and a half, but how important it is to say, I don't know the entire situation. And I certainly don't know the entire person. One of the things that Devorah and I would share when we did couples workshops is we share the terrifying reality that we would tell couples, you need to know that you're never going to completely know your spouse, ever. 50, 60 years, you're never going to completely know them. There's always going to be a mystery because every single day brings choices and challenges and opportunities. And that mystery becomes fuel. It gives us a space to forgive. It gives us space not necessarily need to predict everything our spouse or child or parent or friend is going to do because we don't know. And that allows us to embrace. And I think that embrace is actually what I'm seeing here. Like looking at this and seeing, 50 plus people embracing each other over the years and choosing to connect. And I think that's the greatest nachas we can give each other and certainly the greatest nachas we can give Hashem. So thank you for the opportunity. Okay, so where do I start? I guess I'll share a bit of the journey. Thank you for the clap, Sarah. I saw the clap, didn't hear it. It's good. Okay, thank you. Okay. Let me share a bit of the journey of where we've been and some lessons that I think are very helpful. Kenton, as Frank said, was such an incredible foundation for actually take youth seriously. I think that was really what it was about. We'd seen it in the Kenton Club, dedicating an entire building and programs just for youth. But to see it as part of a synagogue and say, we're going to invest in people that are just going to tend to teenagers was so novel in the UK. We kind of take care of them, there's babysitting, but this is really making them number one. And I think that fueled certainly the spirit and the confidence of an entire generation of young people. And I was able to draw on what I had done in America or started to do in America. And it really was a lot of the information experiences that I had. I was able to bring them and really, really do things that I didn't even plan I was going to do. It's really about finding opportunities. And I saw so many young people with so many talents. Like the band we started, the Aleph Beat was started because, wait a second, there's a 13-year-old kid named Simon Cooper who plays drums, and then there's a Josh Gersey who plays every instrument, and then there's a Marciano who sings, and there's a Nepla that plays keyboard. It's like all these things happen. Okay, so let's try something. And it was just a platform. It was a platform to really, really explore and try to find people's strengths. And as Frank said, that really inspired Jet. I mean, Jet started in Kenton. The idea was, hey, we have something really good here, and it's not about keeping it to ourselves. Let's kind of replicate that in other shuls. And I think by the time we left, there were about a dozen or so other shuls would say, you know what, let's really take youth provision very seriously. So it was an incredible opportunity. And in those 8 years, all told, 5 in Kenton and 3 in Edgware, were just phenomenal opportunities of both my own friendship and colleagues that I built from there, but really the timeless bonds that were forged. And, you know, thankfully for Facebook, and I don't thank Facebook for everything, but I am grateful that, you know, we're able to reach each other and find each other and reconnect. And it's not by chance that we kind of reconnect and find people. It's I think each of us kind of nurture each other and able to give each other strength when need be. So it is quite wonderful with that. So what happened after Kenton? What happened after Edgware? So it brings us to 2003. My last half a year in England. So in case you didn't know, Jet landed. Jet landed in February. I wouldn't call it a crash landing. It was a quick landing, but a safe landing, and obviously very emotional and challenging with that. And we had decided we had certain options to actually stay in England and continue what we were doing in another platform. But there was a very big opportunity over in Boston to take over an entire region of a youth movement that was looking for leadership and looking to kind of rebuild. And the truth is, I drew on so much of what I did in the UK, and I went out. We actually moved out to Boston, Massachusetts in 2003. We were there for 10 years, and in those years, I would say the first 3 years were incredibly challenging, not just because you got 6 feet of snow in the winter. Now, snow is really cool, by the way. It's actually really good for about 20 minutes. Anything beyond that, it's like a headache, right? Because in Boston, if you don't scoop up your snow within 24 hours, they start giving you tickets, 6 feet up on the tree because, there's so much snow going on. But we really were able to rebuild a region there with about 250 young people, 300 people being involved from all walks of life. And I realized I also have some pictures. I don't know if I'll be able to share my screen at some point in the end, so you kind of see our family. But since we left the UK, we had 2 children, 2 daughters. Our 2 youngest daughters were born in Boston, and we really moved in the organization. And I think we saw that as our children got older, our eldest son Yosef Aryeh. So we had Yosef and Akiva and Hilla when we moved to Kenton. And we moved to Kenton when my wife was 42 weeks pregnant. Now, last I checked, it's not supposed to go that far. But, we realized, what's the worst thing that can happen? Well, a lot of bad things can happen if you're traveling overseas. But thank God, we arrived in Kenton, and Tehila was born 5 days later after we landed. So I don't know if you remember Tehila. As our children got older, and there was becoming of marriageable age, we found ourselves kind of shifting in our capacity with young people, much more getting nachas from helping other people help young people in that sense. And I wanted to explore what skill sets I can bring in to the next chapter of my life, to my second act, if you will. And we had the opportunity after, this is now 2013, to take a leadership position in Cape Town, South Africa, which I'd been to when actually we're living in England because my in-laws were there, and it was for the Or Sameach Shul, which was like an outreach community shul. They had gone through several rabbis. Eventually, they went through me as well, and it was such a novel opportunity to just go to be in this part of the world, this beautiful part of the world. And we were there for several years, really kind of making a shul a hub, very much like what we saw happening in Kenton. Rabbi Znaimer's vision was make this a hub of Jewish activity. If your thing isn't to daven and shul, okay, so come to Seed, right? Is there a social opportunity? Can we create multiple portals of entry just to make sure that we have Jewish engagement? And that was the opportunity that was really, really beautiful. We're there on a 2-3 year contract. And after that time, we decided to come back to the States. So now we're at 2015 and we moved to Baltimore, where my wife's family was at. We kind of said, okay, let's kind of see if we can resettle here and see what's going to happen. I was asked to build a region for an organization which did incredibly holy, difficult work, and that is dealing with pediatric illness. It's an organization called Chai Lifeline. I think in the UK and in South Africa, maybe called Chayenu. And they wanted to build a region that they had some activity, but they need to build the office to get some core funding in, and also to provide some leadership there. And I said yes. It was just incredible. Once again, exploring what kind of experiences I want to do. I like being a rabbi of a shul. I think being behind the pulpit was a little bit too confining for me. I just need to get out a little bit more than that. So I took on the opportunity to start this region in Baltimore for pediatric illness, case management, and very, very heavy work, holy work, heavy work. I think, it was very challenging to for the first time, go to what I would call unnatural funerals. It's just not natural to go to a child's funeral. It is important. It's part of life. And it was a blessing to be there as a resource and support to families in a very unique way. And thank God I was able to do that. And then Devorah got an opportunity on the West Coast. And she was asked to come out to help kind of rebuild a new school or build a school, a Jewish curriculum. And that was here in California. And we thought about it a lot. They wanted me to join, but they couldn't have me join just at that time yet. So I said, you know what? This is something that is really incredible for my wife's skill sets, to be able to teacher's teacher, to build a curriculum, to oversee staff. And we came out to the West Coast. And that was about 4 years ago. We were in that school for a couple of years. We wanted that position to be a lot longer. Hashem had other plans. And now we're here entering our 5th year in California. I, for the first time, stepped out of Jewish communal work 2 years ago and went into financial services. I wanted to just, I didn't want to go right back into Jewish communal work so quickly. I needed a little bit of a break. And also to see if I can kind of gain knowledge and experience about money and funding and investments. I think even if I would come back into the nonprofit world, having that kind of knowledge and appreciation, I think most people who are businessmen appreciate that. And it's really fantastic. I'm currently still doing that. I haven't stopped teaching. I haven't stopped speaking when I have those opportunities, and running workshops. And that brings us in a short version to today. I want to show you a slideshow, just a couple pictures so you know that I'm still part of my family. If I can ask Roy to share the screen, is that possible?
Yeah, the screen is shareable.
All right. Now, before I share the screen, very important to know what's on the screen before you share it with everybody, just in case. Okay, it's clear. All right, we're good. Hold on a second, and we're going to go here, and we're going to do a slideshow view. Okay, let's see here. Let's see if this works. You ready? All right. All right. Do you all see that? Oh, really? Yes or no?
There we go.
Do you see everybody?
Beautiful.
So I'm trying to see how I can see at least a couple people while I do this. Okay. Just give me a thumbs up, Frank, because you're the only one that can see. Okay, good. All right. This is the Miller family 2 years ago. Baruch Hashem, it's changed since then. So that was at Shoshana's wedding. So Shoshana was born on the day that Kenton, Maccabi, and Jet had a paintball game. And I think it was one of the Lazarus boys. And I believe a Nepler was there too. So I don't know if you've ever played paintball. It's not recommended if you're over a certain age. But at the end of the paintball game, I remember this very, very vividly. So the game was over. I was shot, very, very clearly shot. And what happens is when you shoot somebody with a paintball, so you get like a little welt. But when you shoot, and they say don't shoot someone within 5 or 6 feet because, well, it's just not really smart to do that. And some wonderful young people who, thank God, are healthy adult men and husbands now, they had extra paintballs in their gun, and they felt that, you know what, to return the paintball gun with paintballs in it is just such a waste of money. So everyone decided to shoot Rabbi Miller, like while he's on the ground, no mercy, like Mike Tyson way. And I remember getting back and I was in so much pain, and you can't show the pain because, you're trying to inspire teenagers and, not make a big deal about it. And I got back home to our house on Westwood Way, and I just collapsed on the floor. And I had like warts and just scars and black and blue marks. And I remember I was on the couch and my wife tapped me on the shoulder as I'm closing my eyes with ice packs, and she says, "Honey, we need to go now." And I said, not now. Can it wait? And she says, "I don't think you understand, dear. We need to go now." So I hobbled over to the hospital, and Shoshana was born on that day. And the people thought I was crying because of the miraculous birth, but I was really crying because I was in excruciating pain from the paintball game. So that's Shoshana there in the middle. And I'll just kind of scroll. Let's see if I can scroll here. Some other, see if it lets me do this here. Let's see. How do I? There we go. Okay. There should be a way here for me to move it. There we go. Okay. All right. Can everyone see this? Okay. This is our baby, Chaviva, who's turning 14. So she was about 12 or 11 then. This is Miriam. They were both born post Kenton. And this is our son, Betzalel, who was born in Edgware. He's now 21, learning in yeshiva on the East Coast. That's my wife, Baruch Hashem. And that's her book. Oh, wow. Is that like a little bit of a plug? Yes, it is. So Dvorah just published a book. It's out in Israel. So if you have any children in Israel, it started with her writing. I think she has some articles that were back in England even. But it's just a lot of her articles over past half a decade or so. And the book will be out in the States, I think, next week. So it's a great and easy and inspiring read. So that's what she's up to. She is writing a curriculum for an after-school program for students, for children from unaffiliated backgrounds. And she teaches ladies classes and does a great job of it. This is Shoshana and my son-in-law, Shlomo Zalman. They now live in the apartment I lived in Jerusalem when I was a child in Ramat Eshkol. They are blessed with 2 daughters, 2 girls, Kenai and Nahara. This is Tehila, who was also, she was born 5 days after we landed. Oops, sorry about that. And they now live in San Antonio, Texas, where we just went to visit them last week. These are the 2 little girls, Chana and Chaviva. This is my son-in-law, Natana, who does Jewish communal work and is into Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So we get along really well. No arguments on that front, that's for sure. Just really a great guy. This is Akiva, right? Remember, Akiva left England. Akiva and Yosef and Hilla left England with an English accent. I think we have somewhere the recording on the plane. So Akiva now has been in Israel for, I think it's 12 years, ever since he was 17. He moved to Israel. He started learning there and then stayed there and gives a Daf Yomi shir, both learns and is what is called a Shoel Umeshiv. He answers questions in the Mir Yeshiva. This is 3 out of their 4 children. I'll share a beautiful story with you. Their 4th child, Naphtali, was actually, sorry, that's Naphtali. Their 4th child, yes, Naphtali Yaakov. Akiva became a Moel 3 months before their child was born. And I flew out that morning. I flew out from the States. And at that time, my father was in a rehabilitation center in Yerushalayim. And we tried to get an exemption for him to leave. And he was able to come out for a couple hours. And I was blessed to be the Sandik. So I was able to hold my grandson, watching my son do the Milah while watching my father observing the whole thing. It was probably the most profound memory I have. Thank God, Baruch Hashem, to see 4 generations. Unfortunately, sadly, my father passed away this year, but he was able to see that bris and to see multiple generations of Nachas. So that's Akiva and Saratova. They also live in Yerushalayim. And once again, 3 out of their 4 grandchildren. And this is Yosef. He was the eldest that we came in. And they live in California. My daughter-in-law, Gabi, now works for Tesla. She does human resources and executive headhunting. And our granddaughter, Meira, who's actually with us right now, we're kind of babysitting her a little bit. And Baruch Hashem, they're doing well. And where's Hillel? Wait a second. What happened to Hillel? Oh, okay. Hillel's there somewhere. That's Devorah and I. And just in case you know, I still play guitar a little bit, not as much as I'd like to. This is at one of the weddings. I do a very this is just more humorous for me. But I came out in the wedding as a Hasidic Rav. The Rav's name is the Humbler Rebbe. He's a false, humble Rebbe. And one of the miraculous things he does, he stands up on a chair and he jumps backwards 1 foot and he lands. And that's like a huge thing. So all the Hasidim, my children dressed up here, are all very excited about that. Why do I share this picture? Because Betzalel, if you look at his boot of his foot, whoops. So he danced for 4 hours on 1 foot because he had a fractured ankle and he refused to not dance. So a little bit of trivia there. These are the rabbis in Cape Town, South Africa, when we were there at Or Sameach, an incredible group of people that I'm still close with. Real blessing that all the rabbis really, really enjoyed each other and made fun of each other and loved each other's company. This was when I was working in San Diego in a high school, while Devorah was teaching here in Irvine. That's me when I was in yeshiva. Not sure how that made it in there. Anyways, but I just want to show you, if I can find, I don't know where Hillel went. Oh, okay, Baruch Hashem, we have Hillel Shalom is also Kanai Nahar, blessed with 3 children. So that's the Miller family, some of the journey there. And I just want to take a break because I would love to just hear from you or questions you have. And I'm honored because you're interested, and it's really beautiful to share such journeys with you. So I'm going to take a break now and take a listen, if that's okay.
Can I quickly say something?
Yes, Catherine.
Yes, you know I've always got to have the first say or last say. Yeah, or both. Because I've actually got Chatzola training in 5 minutes, so I just wanted to. I know. See, proud of me.
Always.
Most of you probably know me as one of Rabbi Miller's teenagers. Probably from the beginning, had a huge, massive part in my life, and still does. And I've spoken to Devorah lately. Reached out to her when I needed her, and she was there for me. You played a huge part in my life. It went a bit of a different way round, but I'm back to where you wanted me to be. And just wanted to say, yeah, you're very, very special to me, both of you. And so were all your children. And it's always, always great to see you and speak to you.
Thank you. It's reciprocal. Really, really, we feel it as well. Thank you so much.
So I'm going to my training now.
Okay, that's amazing.
Nice to see you all, and take care, and I'm sure we'll speak soon. And thank you for everything that you did for all of us. We
It's
all
a
talked about
pleasure.
you a lot. I bumped into Sarah Rosten the other day when we were talking about you. You played a huge part in everyone's lives.
Amen.
Okay.
The story's not over yet. The journey's not over.
No, it's just beginning for me, but we'll talk about that another time. All right,
Very
take
good.
care. Bye.
Take care. Be well. Be well. So Frank, Roy, I don't know if people want to share something. I mean, I'd love to hear about you. It doesn't have to be just about, I mean, I would love to hear how everyone's doing, your children, how you are. I'm kind of open in that way.
Are there other people that would like to ask a question or to reminisce? Well, while people are thinking of things to ask you, Rabbi Miller, when you've gone through your history of things, you omitted to discuss your photographic skills. And I would like to, if I may, share the screen and show you a photograph that you took. And perhaps maybe you'd like to remember and talk us through this.
Oh, wow. Well, if you notice, you see my reflection because I was kicked out of the house. So that's number one. No, oh my gosh, there's two pictures like this with your lovely daughter. Oh my gosh, I don't know, was this like her for her bat mitzvah?
Prior, yeah, she was
11.
she was 11 at the time, and
Oh my gosh, yeah, she'd come every week. I actually have to find the other picture, Frank. I have one that I took from across the street that was so powerful, just kind of looking into the house. But yeah, another example of how my wife just is completely present with whomever she's with. And oh wow, to see your to see her grow. Your Avigana lives now in Eretz Yisrael?
We think it's Eretz Yisrael, but not the rest of the world. She lives on a yeshuv on the heart of the West Bank, on Kochav HaShachar.
Kochav HaShachar, that's Israel. Good.
We think so.
Oh my gosh,
this photo, I seem to recall that you and I were vying for ownership of this, and it was in an exhibition. It was in an exhibition in Brent.
That's why. I'm actually taking a picture of the picture. That's right.
This was in an exhibition somewhere from Brent.
Oh, yes. Thank God for your memory. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. Where was that?
It was in Neasden, a place in Neasden.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you're correct. Thank you for remembering that. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Kanai Nahara. And you should know the song that that was actually by Joshi Znaimer's bar mitzvah. His name is Yeshua. So that inspired the song of Hine Kel Yeshuasi. Thank God has been played in multiple continents, and I remember the inspiration up in my Kenton office, just kind of thinking of a very simple song and then just taking it on. It was such a beautiful time. But yes, it's not so much, Frank, the photograph. I think it's more the people in the photograph, which is very special.
Well, I think it is because it epitomizes the legacy of the Miller family when we look at them now.
Baruch Hashem,
again,
Baruch
Abigail
Hashem.
is one of so many that came through those years with you and Devorah.
Kanai Nahara.
Thanks, Morris. Are there other people that would like to raise a question or to make a comment?
Rabbi Miller?
Cyril, how are you? There's a photographer.
Do you remember me?
Not at all.
Not at all. I don't remember you at all either. I have the privilege of going to every youth banquet that you organize. And I have all the videos of every one of them. And I've recently, they were all on tape. And I've now digitalized them on my computer. And of course, I did lots of still photographs. And I've got all those, and they're all digital, all good. I can happily share them with you.
MillerLight613@gmail.com.
613@gmail.com.
LITE. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing that. I remember like polishing for those pictures. We had to wait. Can you remember that? There was a time you had to wait for pictures to be developed? Crazy. I think it was like even 48 hours. what do you do?
But I think I have digital pictures of those days. And
I
those
know.
banquets are so special because you made every participant feel special. It was modeled on the American school proms, was it not?
Not at all.
No. Everybody dressed up as if it was a very special occasion. Yeah. The children, young adults, 12, 13, 14-year-old, but they had evening wear on.
Right.
Dinner tables.
It's more like the Oscars. It's like the spiritual Oscars.
And everybody got awards and they were all praised for everything they did. And you made them feel very special.
Yes.
And those who were the natural born leaders and those who were quiet in the background, you also brought them in and made a fuss of them. It was absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
And those were the days. I was the only adult that was allowed to come. And I'll be happy to share any of it. And anyone in the community wants those videos because their children are on there. Very special they were. With the candles, remember? And the dark, they all came up with, and they were accompanied by 2 other people and with the special music.
You know, I think now when I go speak at like either Shabbatons, like it was such a blessing to have teenagers for a weekend without cell phones. You know, not just because, you know, it's like, you know, you don't want them distracted, but it was just such a focused time. And now like youth movements or anytime your child's away, even if they go away to Israel for a year, it's like, you don't miss them very much because you see them every day on WhatsApp or you're videotaping. It was such an incredible time to be able to have the focus of the teenagers fully there. So it's really amazing. Cyril, thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Special times they were. Have you done those youth banquets in any other places?
Yeah, I did it in Boston. I did it in Boston for 10 years.
And they were a big hit there as well.
You know, it's amazing. It's amazing how you can just create an environment where people feel valued. And I think it's very profound. And like you said, it wasn't about popularity. It was celebrating Judaism. It was celebrating, you know, spirituality and acknowledging people's journeys. And I think it's a very powerful thing. You know, it's thank God, it's a very special thing. And I thank NCSY for teaching that to me, because that's where I got the idea from. But yeah, Kanana Nahara, good stuff.
I've still got the Aleph Beat cassette tape.
Wow. Yeah. Hold on to that.
It'll be valuable one day.
I'm not sure it's going to be worth more, but hold on to it.
I've also got it, Cyril. I've got it. I play quite a lot. I know Ben is listening here.
Oh my gosh.
I can't see his picture, but he's listening in. But it was
the Coopers.
Yeah, if I could just add, Rabbi Miller, lovely to hear from you.
So good
and lovely to hear about the Aleph Beat Band. And I have to tell you that we went to New Zealand many, many years ago, and we went to the youth centre there, and we left them a copy of the Aleph Beat Band tape.
And they probably said, "What do you do with this?"
No, but it was very special.
It's a bit dated, but it's wonderful.
A bit dated, but by creating that band for the youngsters, it was so very special.
Yeah. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Oh my
Hi,
God.
Rabbi Miller.
I know.
Keyboardist! Woohoo! Shalom Aleichem!
So, Rabbi,
Oh my!
Can we let Stuart, please?
Rabbi.
Hi, Stuart.
Hi. Cyril got in before me about the banquets. I had the zechut to be the shomer for your banquet. The reaction for the kids, and the being treated like adults was superb. And the atmosphere was brilliant. But also I want to give you a thank you. You also gave me some actually sizzle when I was when I've been doing some Gemara learning. I remember I was at a function we were talking about and said, go and relearn that Gemara. Thank you very much.
I'm humbled and thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Hi, Rabbi Miller.
Where are you?
I'm in America. I live in Philadelphia, but I'm in Virginia at the moment, running around after my kids. So I'm on Zoom on my phone, but I saw the picture of the band in the flyer for this event, so I couldn't miss it. Seeing a picture of me with so much hair was amazing. I don't think I've heard about that paintball event in 26 years, but I don't think Jamie Lazarus is here, so I'm going to say it was his fault. But yeah. I think it was a bunch of us.
I think it was a team effort. Yeah.
It's been a while, but I apologize. Now that I have my own kids, I can apologize profusely.
It's all good. So
Rabbi Miller, here, this is your old next door neighbor.
Oh my, how are you? Oh my gosh.
I'm fine. Our two boys are grown up as well, and they've both got 2 boys each.
Oh my gosh.
So, and one's about to start school. So it's just, what I'll never forget about you was the bush that was in between our houses. And you always said our roots were together because we had the roots of the same bush in our front garden. And I'll never forget, you said our roots, wherever we are, our roots are always together.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you. Are you sure it's me, not my wife? That's beautiful. Thank you for
that was you. That was you. Take care.
Oh my gosh. And sukkahs together. Oh, yes. Kanai Nahara.
Yeah, definitely.
Kanai Nahara. Wonderful.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Hi,
I think the Feldmans unmute.
Richard, you need to unmute.
There we go.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, hi, Rabbi Miller. It's lovely to see you. You look wonderful.
Yeah, as always.
Yeah, you haven't aged. You look the same.
Well, it's actually an app. Make it any age you want.
Rabbi Miller, I don't know if can you possibly remember one Purim when you were doing something that was a bit naughty and suddenly the police came down.
I have no recollection of police coming down. Not a thing.
And I had to tell him you were the rabbi.
I don't recall. I do recall one night seeing 2 moons in the sky. Like literally, but I know police. Are you sure police came?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two policemen came down.
Oh.
They wondered what we were playing up, what we were doing.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for bringing that to my attention. Do you know why I got so drunk that year? The first year?
Yeah, I sure did.
So the first Purim we had was in the back room, right? The Canteric room, was it called?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that was like 30, 40 people. Then the second year was when we did the Mishloach Manot. And there was a huge banquet, like 150 people signed up. Remember, Frank, it was just amazing. The whole room was filled. And I came into the Suda having delivered the 85th Shalach Manos. I had not eaten a thing, but the sun was setting. So I had to wash before the sun set. And then Rabbi Znaimer said he was going to give a shiur about all the different kinds of drinks that you can have on Purim and what you can't. And he asked me if I would kind of act it out. So I think he had like fake drinks in front of him, but it could be that one of the esteemed members of the community replaced everything with vodka, whiskey, bourbon, rum, wine. And I had all those in about 20 minutes, which is probably life-threatening looking back at it. I was completely gone, nothing in my stomach. But
yeah, we still remember that one.
Yeah, those are good. Baruch Hashem.
Still lovely.
But
Rabbi Miller, it's an absolute delight to hear you speaking and hear you speaking with such vibrancy. You're almost speaking like a teenager, but when I see you've got children and grandchildren, I know the truth. And you're in one of the best clubs in the world, the Bubba and Zayda, or Saba and Safta Club. Looking at your delightful family, you obviously learned a lot in Kenton, and it's lovely. And you mentioned you dropped a little word called Shabbaton, and I would be absolutely thrilled if we could somehow get you back to the UK to share a Shabbaton with us here. Maybe not in Kenton, but for us for the weekend, that would be an absolute delight.
What a wonderful idea. Multiple generations reunion.
So it's something we can plan on. So once again, absolutely delighted to hear you and welcome you back. And as I say, you're so vibrant. It's great to hear you.
Thank you. I would love, I know that people may need to go, but I would just love to hear about yourselves or your children if they were in Jets
okay.
or they were in Kenton Club.
I'll continue. Can you hear me still?
Yes.
You might remember our daughter Gemma, you may not. But,
yes, of course.
She's now married and she has 4 children and bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah. We've got a daughter and family in Israel. We're hoping to go and see very shortly. And Baruch Hashem, we've done well from Kenton.
Does Kenton have a Facebook page?
Yes, I'll add you to it.
Okay, because I would love, I mean, it's just a great platform to share pictures and memories, and it's always good to refer to, because what I have learned is that you never know when someone needs inspiration. And you never know if one picture or a message comes up just at the right time for somebody. I know it's helped me tremendously, but I would love that because obviously we can't all share each other's personal stories right now, but it's just an amazing opportunity to for all of us to stay connected. And Laura, good to see you down there at the bottom of my screen.
Hi.
Nahara and Priscilla, everybody. Priscilla, by the way, thank you. Laura, get back. Thank you for sending me the Kenton book.
Hello, Rabbi.
Daniel.
Well, thank you for responding. Thank you for your, yes, thank you.
How are you, Rabbi?
Good. I'm trying to think who's actually speaking.
Daniel Wolfson.
Daniel, Shalom Aleichem. We reconnected on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
Yerushalayim.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
How things?
How dare the Indian variant come into the Holy Land?
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Yeah, good to hear. It's very, very inspiring times in, yeah.
Baruch Hashem. I'm just trying to see people on the screen. Laura, where are you? I started with you and then I got cut off.
Hi, I'm here.
Where is here?
Oh, sorry. I'm in Mill Hill. I'm a secondary school teacher.
Oh.
And where's Benji? Benji? He's doing his Daf Yomi. I know you mentioned one of your sons teaches it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I never thought that you would say the words Daf Yomi. I just got to tell you, it's pretty cool. You say it again. Say it again. Laura said Daf Yomi. Woo! Oh my. Amazing.
I don't know where he is. And my Mish is on here.
Hi, Rabbi Miller.
Where are you? Where are you? Oh my God.
I'm here.
I can't see. Wait, I need to change the view here. I need to change the view.
She's not on the screen.
Oh my.
Michelle Lastman.
I got it.
You got it.
It's like playing memory, this game. Okay, she's her. And
hi, Rabbi Miller, David Bussey speaking.
The buses are taking over the screen now.
Sorry.
Okay. Oh, wow.
How's things in LA, and which area of LA do you reside in?
What's that?
Where do you live in LA?
It's actually called Orange County, so it's south of LA and north of San Diego.
I know Orange County. My uncle used to live in Cyprus.
Yeah. So there are like a lot of South Africans moved here in the 70s and 80s. Beautiful, beautiful community. Yeah, thank God.
I want to ask you a question. If New York Life have a policy for people who overindulge at Purim,
Well, you only have to disclose what they ask. That's how I got my policy. Don't have to share everything.
Good to see you.
Okay, so good to see you all. Oh my gosh, and Clemmy, you're listening so beautiful. You know, Clemmy taught me the word sublime. You should know something.
Yeah.
We went to one of her art shows and she was trying, right? She had a whole theme of sublime, right? It's like trying to describe God.
Do you know how many rabbis has been spawned from your influence and Rabbi Znaimer's influence from Kenton? You have Rabbi Garber, Rabbi Lehman, Rabbi Lazarus,
Oh
so
my gosh.
many.
Oh my gosh. Kanai Nahara. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that coachload of kids you brought to my back garden?
Well, that happened a couple times. We had a Emmanuel College reunion and back, right?
I don't know. You took them around Europe and they ended up in my back garden.
Wait a second.
And the boys came down, the coach, and they all went in to play football. The girls came down from the coach and went crying into the crying room. I had a crying room for the girls.
Okay, Michelle, Laura, can you just, come on, jog my memory here. How did I bring a busload of kids? Where were we? What happened?
I don't know. They were traveling and they ended up in Kenton.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No. Okay.
Had anything to do with Kenton? I think.
No. Okay. Okay. This is where I need. Thank God, Devorah has like my memory.
Where is Devorah?
Hi all. Sorry, I missed you before.
Let me see. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
What have I missed?
All right. Okay. Devorah's back. Okay, so give her a couple minutes. Okay. Yeah. Why was there a bus there? I remember there was a tour. But like the tour wasn't from England. Was it?
They were English kids, but I think you'd taken them to Europe or something. But anyway, do you remember the first ever meeting you had with the children was in my house on Shabbos afternoon? Yes. And you deigned to question my kashrut of the crisps that I had on the table. You said,
you know what?
I actually do remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah, you remember.
I do remember that. Yeah.
In the past 26 years, I've never regretted asking and being a little bit uncomfortable than just going for it and eating something non-kosher. So you gotta roll with me on that.
It wasn't the kashrut, it wasn't the
And by the way, back then I was really frum also. Thank God I'm not as frum now, but back then I was a really, really, really religious person.
Actually, you taught me something because you asked if the crisps were milchig. And I thought, I've never heard of milchig crisps. And blow me down, it was milchig.
Right.
It was milchig, yeah.
Amazing.
What
wow. And I also, what's that?
What?
I just think like the opportunities that Kenton, I mean, because of Kenton, I was able to have a connection with the late Chief Rabbi Zatzal. It was just an amazing thing to be part of his cabinet and to be in his home and to just, it just gave me such an incredible platform. Really, really wonderful. It's amazing. And your boys are well, Clemmy?
Yeah, Baruch Hashem. I have a rabbi, I have an accountant, and I have, well, a very intelligent son who's working 24/7 to, to look after his family. Yeah, in Eretz Israel.
Oh my gosh. So a rabbi, an accountant, and what?
Well,
Aaron?
Aaron has two jobs. First of all, he works at a Happy Puzzle company, and the other job that he's very much into now is education with ADHD.
Which is just about every child on the planet.
Apparently so, and parents too, by all accounts. So, yeah, it's a very, in thing.
Do you know what's interesting is if you look at attention deficit disorder, means that someone's not getting enough attention.
Yeah. Hello,
Devorah. Sarah couldn't hold it in.
I couldn't.
all these beautiful faces.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my goodness.
Wait, there's another page. Ta-da!
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Everyone's there.
Weinbergs.
Kanai Nahara, good to see everybody.
Oh my goodness.
I plugged your book, by the way.
Michelle. Oh, thank you.
Hi, Rabbi Miller.
Oh my! Shalom Aleichem!
How you doing?
Oh my goodness.
I'm floating now. I'm mama's levitating. Baruch Hashem.
We have on our wall here in Ramat Shemesh a beautiful ksiva with your name signed on it.
Oh my! Oh, that's like a big responsibility. I remember that's a big responsibility. You live in Ramat Beit Shemesh?
We do, yes.
Oh.
And yeah, my oldest is 18 now. Going to yeshiva next year.
What?
Your oldest is what?
18.
Is Alex fit?
I ain't 26 anymore. That's for sure.
But yeah, Rabbi Miller got so many memories. If I were to say them all now, like hog the whole Zoom, so I won't do that. But I will say I remember my first Shabbos at you, and I was really nervous to come because it's Shabbos at a rabbi's house.
Very scary.
And I remember when we got to Shalom Aleichem already from the beginning, it was Shalom Aleichem, and I was like, wow, I didn't know Judaism was exciting. So that was a nice treat. And I even remember what your Rebbetzin made. It was chicken with like Frosties or cornflakes coating the chicken.
Oh, the fine silvers. Oh, wow. All right. Forget about the Dvar Torah, just the chicken.
Yeah,
cornflakes on the chicken.
That's really funny that you remember that because I'm I'm like, whatever is on the shelf, that's what I'm making. So I'm still like that. So, that's what you got.
Well, it worked, I ended up going to yeshiva because of the chicken. So,
Because of the chicken, yeah.
You were in TJ.
Well, actually, you and Rabbi Slimer collectively were the, you directed me in that way to TJ because you both knew Rabbanim there. So it worked out very well. In fact, the Divrei Torah every week. I mean, so many stories. I mean, I graduated from the children's service to the youth service in Kenton, and I remember my first Shabbos in the youth service. I was talking to my good friend Daniel Harris, and an older boy in the row in front turned around and slapped me around the face and said, "We don't talk in the youth service." So that was
welcome.
But I remember one particular Dvar Torah you said there was one of your kids had switched a light off on Shabbos. And there was a non-Jew was walking past, and you kind of spoke to him. You made some kind of hint, and he came in and switched the light on. And he said he had no idea what he was doing or why he was doing it. He said to you, "As long as I've done something, I know that I've done something to help someone else. I'm happy. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I feel happy that I've helped someone." I remember that story.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, the collective memory that we all have. Thank God. Oh my gosh, Kanai Nahara.
Asked him to turn the light on with a wooden spoon or something, if I remember the story. Yes. And he didn't know what you were talking about.
Oh my gosh, Kanai Nahara. I'm trying to think who else is on here that I can't see all in one shot.
Rabbi Miller. Rabbi Miller, I'm not from Kenton, I'm from Kingsbury, but my daughter used to go to Jet, and she sends her best wishes to you. Do you remember Razel Lindemann?
Razel!
Yes, Razel.
Quiet, shy, sits in the corner, that Razel?
Oh, she's changed. No, not her, no.
No. Oh my gosh, of course!
She sends her best wishes to you.
Thank you so much.
She lives in Australia with her husband and 2 little boys she's got.
I remember her socks.
Yeah, Razel socks, right?
Yeah, she used to wear like all different color socks.
She was always at Jet, and she used to come round to you in Edgware as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Baruch Hashem. Amazing. And I think I saw the Handman somewhere.
Yep.
There he goes. Wow. Kanai Nahara.
Yeah, can you hear me okay? I can't shout.
We got you.
Okay, we were with Zoe just now, but we're in Israel, so we're 2 hours ahead and it's very late.
Oh, yeah.
She said she spoke with you when they had the Kenton Club reunion. And
Yeah.
She's 39 and a half weeks pregnant. So she's very tired. And
why are you tired?
We're not tired.
We're old.
We're old. We've had a schluff tonight. We had to wake up.
Oh my
We
gosh.
had to wake
Okay.
up to come on tonight. So
Everything should be b'sha'a tova. Everything should be in good time and in good health.
but we're lucky to be on the kibbutz with her at the moment. So,
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. And Alan Tibber.
Yeah, I see Alan there. I see Sharon Arad's name, but I don't.
Hi, Rabbi. How are you?
It's
your bassist here from Aleph Beat.
My man.
How you
Oh
doing?
my. So good to see everybody. Can I
Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you guys.
Oh my God. Did you know the police came on Purim?
When?
When like Rabbi Znaimer was like really, really drunk and they're concerned about him?
To Shul?
Yeah.
Really? No, you were the one who was really drunk. Right after Shoshana was born.
Oh, okay. Responsible fatherhood.
Yeah, we heard the story.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the Coopers. Hi, you
Isn't it nice
guys.
to see them?
Yes.
How is Simon doing? I know he's still involved with the music, yes?
Well, all thanks to you, Rabbi. All thanks to you.
Yeah, but he's not giving me a cut of that gig.
You wouldn't want a cut of what he's earned in the last year or two.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's
Oh
busy
my
this
God.
evening, sadly.
Yes.
But he said he was going to be in touch with you.
I miss it. We actually connected. I think it was about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. Just Kanai Nahara. Kanai
Just
Nahara.
well, you don't want a reunion of the band playing this evening, did you?
Very talented young men.
Yeah.
They all were.
They all were. They were great, all of them.
Oh my. Let's see that. There's the band. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So cute. Wait, who's holding that up?
I can't see. Oh, the Scots. That's right.
Yeah, but and
The first version.
pardon?
That was the first version of the band.
First version of the band. That's
Okay,
right.
Sarah wants to know why we haven't aged. We
You
refuse to age.
Oh, Devorah.
Yeah.
Did you remember the show we put on that I played the piano and you and Liz for a women's show?
Yes.
Yeah, it was great fun.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. We
Yeah.
did like a women's musical. Yes.
So
That's right.
lovely to see you.
I also did one with the girls with the who was in that? Laura and Michelle, were you in that? We did like one with the girls, a musical something. Yes, Laura, you were. Maybe Michelle had already graduated. I don't remember which year we did it, but
How are you, Devorah? You still look 21.
yeah. From there, yeah.
Benji.
Hi, lovely to meet you.
Hi.
Benji, is it true that you do the daf?
At the moment, still in the race.
Hang in there with Yuma. Just like another week and a half, you make us see him. You're good. Stay in there. And yesterday was easy peasy. You got an easy day yesterday. Not so bad. You're good. Oh my God, so nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Laura, can you just say daf yomi again?
Daf yomi.
Right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen,
I wish I
I think the hour is getting late, and I think it's time we certainly the people in Israel, I guess it's very late for all of you.
Thank you.
Devora, lovely to see you to join us as well.
Good to see you, Frank.
You just spoke to Hamptons, who said they were in Israel. They are Israel's newest Olim, having made Aliyah last week.
Wow.
So they're
amazing.
So again, that's something we're all proud of in Kenton.
Yep.
We started the evening, or you started the evening with some words of Torah. And I think it was just appropriate to wind up this evening with another thought from this week's Sedra, where we have the very famous phrase of Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkanatecha Yisrael. How good are your tents, O Jacob, the dwelling place of Israel. And we learn that all the tents were set out in such a way that no two tents overlooked each other. The door from one was somewhere else so that no one could see in. And I think what we learned from that was that the privacy and what went on in each individual tent was private for that family. And for a couple such as the two of you, who are so much in public life, I think what you've epitomized tonight is the reality of that matzavu, when you've shown us how your family, your private family, what they've done, how they've grown up, what they've turned out to be, and you've been able to look at the communal. You've split the two beautifully, and we're all so proud of both of them. When we say Mishkanatecha Yisrael, the dwelling place, the root of Mishkanatecha, the Shekhinah, is the dwelling place. And I think that as we say thank you to both of you, our hope and prayer is that the Shekhinah would dwell within the Miller family for many, many years to come, that the Shekhinah will inspire you to carry on giving so much to so many people as you have done in your years, and in particular in those wonderful years in Kenton. So to Devora, to Rabbi Shmuel, thank you both so, so much for everything you've done, and thank you for being with us this evening. It really has been an absolute delight. Thank you.
Stay well. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you.
It is so. It's such a chizuk.
Really wonderful.
Hopefully you'll take up Roy's offer of coming over for a Shabbaton.
That would be.